Hey guys, what's going on? Gonna go over another raid node here on the Mutant section of Doom 2.1. Um, gonna only run through the first two nodes, not the boss, because boss usually is two-shotted. But I'll make a separate video on that and uh, how to go about it. But I just wanted to go over the first two nodes because they're played similarly. Uh, they're played the same way, more or less. So this is the team I'm using. You want to use Axemen. I've seen people, or I've heard people using different hybrids with Axemen, like Dad Bros and whatnot, X Factor. But I think this is a big mistake, especially for the later difficulties. You might be able to get away with it here at 2.1, but as the difficulty ramps up, 2.2 and 3, I don't think they become viable. So you want to run the full Axeman team because they just have great synergy together. Even though you might not like Iceman or Kitty individually, they're standalone characters. They're not very good, but they do provide certain mechanics and synergy to the fight that are pretty do or die in certain situations. For example, Kitty's evades and buff clears are pretty important. Iceman's slow is gonna reduce the enemy damage by 30%, and not to mention he slows them, so you're getting more turns. Um, these are very important parts uh, of these are very important parts of their kit that are gonna help you win the match. So I'm gonna go over a process I use uh, on the first node. And instead of focusing on turn order, I want you to just think of uh, a process where you're just taking each section of the waves and through a process. So there isn't really going to be a way where I can tell you kill Squirrel Girl first or Silver Surfer or Hella. No, we're just going to go over a process where we're going to control certain characters. We're going to identify the problem, and you're going to do what you got to do in the fight to control these characters first in this wave, and then we'll go over the next wave. So first off, the first thing you want to do is you know here that Squirrel Girl is going to cleanse whatever you debuff them with. So the best thing about Axemen is through the passives of Jubilee, um, every time you get a kill, they're going to get boosted turn meter. So Hela fortunately provides this amazing outlet for you to get infinite turns. Well, more or less, somewhat infinite. So you just want to, one thing you want to do here is you want to keep Hela alive because she's going to keep giving you these Gregs and you want to keep killing them. So how do you do this? Well, you just keep using AoEs uh, constantly over and over while killing Gregs, and when you don't have an AoE, you single target him until you cycle back to those abilities. All the meanwhile, you're dealing splash damage to everyone else. Okay, so this first phase, we want to get rid of Squirrel Girl and Silver Surfer, and all the splash damage that occurs, just you kind of level it out between all the enemies. But keep in mind, try to keep Ella alive. So in the opening turn, we're gonna you have to basic against Bishop's taunt, so can't really hit Greg there. They'll go. Now you'll get a turn. Now here, okay. So one thing I like to do is I know that with Bishop's ult has a huge AOE, so I know Silver Surfer is one of my main targets along with Squirrel Girl. I'm not gonna aim for her. I'm gonna aim for him because I know this Greg's gonna die off this hit. So just right away, go target always near where the Gregs are. See that? Now the Greg's here in the middle. We're gonna AoE again. This is gonna offense down. This is why Kitty's good here. You hope to land some assists on Surfer with Jubilee so you can blind him. But ultimately, what you want to do is try to, in this first phase, you want to get to the stun on Squirrel Girl and try to blind Silver Surfer. That's the entire process you want to go through. Okay? So once again, we're using AoEs. We heal. The Greg's dead. You're getting more turn meter. Now we're back. Now we got our stun. So you stun Squirrel Girl here. That's another AoE. You're killing the Greg. You're getting more turn meter. Now you want to focus your attention on trying to blind Silver Surfer before he ults. Okay? So here I decided to go to kill Squirrel Girl because I knew his ult was gonna. She was low enough where I can secure the kill. But if you're not sure, just go for the Greg. So yeah, unfortunately these blinds are not landing. So you just got to keep trying. If you can't, see here I have an option to basic or alt, but the alt gives you turn meter. So target the Greg again, and you see how much splash damage they're taking. Eventually you're just whittling them down. So I go for the basic blind here. I kind of risked that, and it landed. So now we know that we're safe from his ult because it's gonna miss. So I'm just gonna focus down other characters and just basic off Iceman there, and the splash damage kills the Greg, and you got another turn, and you just keep doing this over and over again until you have this first wave down. And meanwhile, you're just building up cooldowns. And you want to try to kill the Silver Surfer before the second one comes down in the last wave. So, but if you notice here, the second wave should probably already have dropped, but we've banked up so much turn meter that the game is not dropping them yet. So you're gonna be forced to kill Hela here, but it's not a big deal because once you get past this wave, it's pretty easy. So there we go. Okay, so sometimes the wave drops after Hela, but there it's fine. But she's gonna die here because you're forced to target Red Guardian, and the splash damage kills her. So this phase of the fight is very simple. Remove the taunts off the tanks, and then just focus Silver Surfer. Everything on him. Try to get blind, stun, whatever, and just take him out of the fight, and it's easy. After you kill him, that's when you start thinking about managing the cooldowns and just saving all your abilities for the next node. Okay? Now this is pretty much a wrap because he's blinded, and his first turn he's not going to do anything. So we're going to save the stun here from Jubilee because you don't need it. You'll use it for the next fight. And from here on out, the only thing, really honestly, the only thing that you're fighting against is the clock. Notice I have a minute left here. I have to hurry up. So I just put it on auto basic. Should finish it out here. But yeah, just keep an eye on the clock. I mean, it helps to have a really big Axeman. That really helps you avoid timing out. So that's the first node. Pretty easy. Let's go into the next node. I'll show you how to do that one. Same concept. Okay, so we're back on the second mutant node. Let's go right into this. So now we have all our cooldowns ready. Everything's set. This fight's going to be we're going to apply the same concept as the first one. We're going to use this time, instead of the Gregs, you're going to use the multiple man's dupes against him to increase your turns. But I mean, he drops in the second wave, I believe. So the opening turns. So right out the gate. Okay, so we don't have multiple men here yet, but the first order of business is to control the two problematic toons right now, which are Miss Marvel and Emma. Miss Marvel, because she's gonna tank, she's gonna taunt whoever you drop below 50%. So rather than just try to focus Emma right now or anybody else and then have to deal with the taunt, I'm just gonna take her out right from the get-go. Okay? because if you get rid of her, then it's easy, it's smooth sailing. So we want to kill her, want to get rid of Miss Marvel, and use the Jubilee stun on Emma so she doesn't cleanse anything. Okay. So this is the step one of the process. So we AOE with Iceman to reduce their damage and slow them, and then just focus Miss Marvel. You see, she's almost dead. Now you see there, I targeted, even though it's an AOE attack with Kitty, I targeted Emma because it would apply vulnerable, and Miss Marvel already was gonna die off that tech. So you want to keep an eye out on that. It's just a more efficient way of targeting. So unfortunately, Colleen is gonna go here. And probably deal some serious damage, but Beast will cleanse it. So now you want to just get rid of Colleen next, and now multiple man's dropped. We're going to use him to create dupes and keep killing them over and over again while spreading the splash damage like we did in the first node, and to just manipulate the turn meter and grind them down slowly. Okay. Oh, when you have Kitty's ult, it's probably a good idea to just right away disrupt Hulk because he does taunt. So this was perfect. So look here. Let me rewind that a little bit. The dupe was placed right behind Black Bolt. And so this is one other thing you want to keep in mind when targeting with Bishop's ult, is that it has a great AoE and splash damage. So we have Colleen low, the dupe here, so targeting anybody here in the middle is gonna hit everybody. So you're gonna nail two birds with one stone. You're gonna get 2 kills, and that's gonna boost your turn meter up even more. The next person you want to focus down while creating dupes off multiple man is Sinister, because you just don't want any clone RNG, and it's just annoying. So get rid of him right away. And then from here on out, you start just creating a dupe, and then focusing somebody else. Yeah, here I'm probably gonna create another dupe, and then AOE around them to get multiple kills and boost up your turns. Okay, so the next targets really we want to be focusing on X Factor, on Dad Bros, getting them out of the way. But at the same time, you just want to keep generating dupes off your basic attacks, and then targeting wherever they are. So you see here, I've just made 2 more dupes here, so I'm going to focus my attention on this side of the board and start hitting these guys up here. All the while I'm killing the dupes in the process and just accelerating my turns. But here I decided I just had enough of him. I'm going to kill him because I don't want him to ult either or special and fill the board. And I have the fight controlled now to a point where they can't really win. Black Bolt's blinded, Shatterstar's blinded, Longshot's blinded, Polaris, everyone has blind. So I just killed them off anyway, just to get it going. Because we do have 2 minutes left. You kind of want to keep an eye on the clock, like I said before. Your worst enemy in these fights is the time limit, honestly, because this is pretty easy. Once you have this wave down, the last wave is going to be a Black Bolt and a Longshot, and it's pretty easy. You could just auto basic it there, and save your cooldowns for the boss node. That's pretty much it, guys. It's very easy. Now this is difficulty 2.1, but this applies to 2.2 as well, and I would imagine in 2.3. I haven't played it on 2.3 yet, but I would imagine it's just going to be a lot more tanky, and you're probably going to time out. So we will probably need teal gear on Axemen to do the same method. But I think the strategy is the same. It's solid. You really need to use Axemen. That's really what it comes down to. They're just really good. They work well together, and yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, hit me up in Discord or leave a comment below. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one.